Hello, folks. Oh, what's going on there? Weird. Anyways, we're getting ready to go. Just going to put some music on a little bit to let people join our feed. Welcome to all you who are there. Just hang in there for a couple more minutes. We'll let more people join, and we'll put on a really good show for you tonight. Welcome to our Super Chat. It'll just be another minute, folks. Welcome aboard. Fasten your seatbelts. Dorothy, you're not in Kansas anymore.
Welcome to A Mexican Crossing Lines with your hosts, Cindy Gomez-Schempp.
And Duke Gomez-Schempp.
You're listening to 88.1 FM, KPPPLP, Fargo Moorhead, where we are adding local color to your airwaves. Tonight, I'm going to be bringing you an update about the Butterfly Center. As you know, they're building a part of the wall there that had not been built at all. There was no existing wall in this section. And a group of Carrizo Comecrudo tribe Indians, which is not a federally recognized tribe, have been down there along with their allies from the Border Support Network. And the Activism actually created group, Border Support Network, is now making a call to action, boots on the ground, come to the village, come to these camps at the border in Texas, right away. They're also fundraising for the Carrizo Comecrudo tribe and their lawsuit against Build the Wall. So we're going to talk about all of that tonight. And I want to thank all of you who are watching right now. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure to get notifications for your YouTube channel. Plus, we can be found on other social media. How can folks follow us, Duke?
Well, there's many places you can follow us. You're on Duke1517, which is our YouTube channel. And you can go to Facebook, 88.1 F Fargo Moorhead, and check us out there. We do live streams on Facebook and on YouTube. And we really thank people for joining us. And you can also email Cindy at kpppfm.com, me at Duke at kpppfm.com. Also, you can go to our website, kpppfm.com, and check out all our previous shows. We take some of the shows and we convert them into audio and play them on the air. Some we don't. Some are too long. Some have too many swear words, things like that. But you can see all of our shows with YouTube embedded videos at kpppfm.com. Just look at the archives. Also, a Mexican Crossing Line, and check out our other shows we have going on there. We have the Crazy Libertarian, who airs in the Fargo Moorhead area on Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m., but Tuesday nights you get a sneak peek. We have the Policy that comes out at 5 o'clock on Mondays. Two very good shows with some young people who really have some innovative ideas and broad spectrum from conservatives of color to crazy libertarians. And so check that out on kpppfm.com. Also, when you're there, if you support our work, please support our work, because we are supported by the community, and we're a nonprofit organization, non-commercial radio station here in Fargo Moorhead, and we do live streams, and we reach an audience that we would never reach for our local radio station. And so you can support us and support our work by going to kpppfm.com/donate. Also, if you'd like to be an underwriter, the FCC allows us to have underwriting where you as a business make a contribution to our organization, a tax-deductible contribution, and then we can air an underwriting piece that shows your support for our work. I'd like to thank last month's underwriter, Make My Life Great Again, PalomaForTrump.com. That's Paloma, 4, Trump.com. If you'd like to do underwriting, just go to kpppfm.com/underwriting opportunities. Read all about it, and we'll work something out. And also, if you'd like to make a tax-deductible contribution, any of your contribution to our organization, we would love that. It would help us out a lot.
So let's dive right in. Tonight we're going to revisit Lilith Sinclair. Her real name is Kiara Horsley. You may recall in a recent show she declared that she is a full-service sex worker. And she is now tweeting about how this action to these camps requires for her to bring you notifications on Twitter, updates about what's going on at this camp with the Carrizo Comecrudo tribe. Here is the Twitter thread, the Twitter post, where she announces that she's going to be going to the border and that she expects there's going to be media updates coming from her on the tribe. And she also says that there's a resistance that's going to be taking place there. Indigenous resistance. And this Twitter thread about the indigenous resistance shows that she is basically giving you the history here of what they're doing at this camp. First of all, they're talking about the burial grounds, right? This is an abandoned cemetery, but they're talking about the burial grounds. There is a wall that they're about to build, and there's 300 military troops deployed in the area. In addition to that, they've got villages. That means a number of campsites, and that these resistors that are at the camp have been holding space there for a number of months. And of course, they're fighting against government operations. I have to call all of this into question because, first of all, an abandoned cemetery that these folks went, cleaned up, and put a bunch of signs around doesn't make these ancestral burial grounds. It was a mostly black cemetery where some Latinos are also, Mexicans are also buried. Activism, actually, let me go to thread 3, please. I wanted to, thread 2, excuse me. Thread 2. I wanted to show part of this post in which Lilith Sinclair is talking about some of the posts or comments from the tribe's leader, Juan Mancias. In it, he is quoted as saying, "We're a recognized tribe, and no one is going to tell us who we are." especially some idiots in Washington, said Juan Mancias of the indigenous peoples tribe, the Carrizo Comecrudo. Okay. That clearly says they are is that your understanding that this is a federally recognized tribe when you read that?
No, in fact, they aren't. They're not. They are not federally recognized.
But when you read that quote, doesn't it sound like he is saying we are a and it doesn't sound like it. It's what he said.
Yeah, and he says that the idiots in Washington aren't going to tell us what to do. So he's lying. He's lying. And this camp has been set up to try to be another Standing Rock, with Juan Mancias and all these other people are going down there. Evan K. Duke III going down there and doing security. Come on, it's trying to do Standing Rock again. The thing is, they didn't get that many people coming down there. They got a bunch. People went down there in the summertime, but it's drying up. And they're trying to keep on dealing with these issues and kind of fabricating the issues. And if you look behind Cindy, that's pretty much the wall being built in. This is, the butterfly sanctuary, they did take some land. It does affect habitats, but it's not going to stop the migration of butterflies.
In this post by Activism, actually, you will see that they actually say, Activism actually posts that they're not a federally recognized tribe. We're at the Yauli Village, set up by the Carrizo Comecrudo tribe of Texas. And then it goes on to say, a quote there, the tribe, which is not officially recognized by the U.S. federal government, established the village. So, which is it? Well, I'll tell you which one it is. They're not federally recognized, but they try to pass themselves off as legitimate. There's something very illegitimate about the claims, and these inconsistencies aren't the only things that don't pass the smell test when it comes to the Carrizo Comecrudo tribe and the people in it. Posts that were promoted on the pages show that they recently served a cease and desist letter. This is part of their fight with the people that are building the wall. And the Comecrudo's Facebook page also talks about fundraiser because they need money.
Oh, yeah. And
here's all of the people that were tagged in this fundraiser on GoFundMe. They're trying to raise $50,000. There's always something
for what?
involving money. Well, I'll tell you, it's for a lawsuit. It's for a lawsuit against the people that are building the wall. Here's another point that I find very interesting. I will share a link with people from chicannation.com, in which Juan Mancias, the tribal chairman or the tribal leader, wrote himself what the history of their tribe is. And if you just scratch past the surface, you'll find it doesn't hold water. Just look at this one entry in which they talk about a battle that took place in 1852. And this is from Carrizo Comecrudo's own chief retelling of their history.
Okay.
It says, in 1852, 300 Estok Na fight and save the Texas in the Battle of Mair for the Republic of the Rio Grande. There's only one problem with that. If you look at the Wikipedia entry for this battle, it happened in 1842. 42. So they're off by about a decade.
Yeah.
Not only that, folks, but it doesn't take a genius to simply go and look in the history books.
Yeah.
By the way, this was a failed mission. The Mexicans won, but what happened is that this was very well documented by all the people there. And there's no mention of 300 Indians, and I'm sure they would have stuck out.
Yeah.
Okay? So there's a lot of things that seem made up about the Carrizo Comecrudo tribe, including whether or not they're federally recognized, because it is made up. And this Yauli Village and their fight, it's really all about politics. It's all about being anti-Trump and anti-wall. the Yauli Village page, by the way, Lilith Sinclair gave you all the places to go on Facebook where you could find the information. The Yauli Village page, the Carrizo Comecrudo tribes page. And so I went to all these pages to see, what are they talking about? One of them has a fundraiser. They want $50,000. The other one, here's their GoFundMe. It's called Build a Village, Save the Earth Legal Fund by Lori K. Simmons, who says she got permission. And if you go to this Yauli Village Facebook page, you will find that they are actually talking about this Build the Wall fight. Here's their entry on Facebook talking about the Build the Wall fight.
Build the Wall fight.
Yes, it's called Yauli Village. Yauli Village Build a Wall fight.
Okay, I see it there. Sorry about that delay.
It's all right. And they give a bunch of numbers for people to call. It says, We Build a Wall is ignoring court orders restraining and breaking a minimum of 28 federal laws right now. And to make matters worse, the National Guard is protecting them and allowing this to happen. Well, sounds to me like if the National Guard, is protecting the people building the wall and allowing it to happen, it's because it's supposed to be happening. Note that the tone of the groups that are down there or rushing down there to stop the building of this wall are known for their tactics of violent confrontations and also of, causing damage, lots of damage, millions of dollars in damage. Look what they did to Standing Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Things are heating up is the post by one of the people that created that fundraiser for them.
Okay.
And their language, when they talk about things heating up, I always picture the kinds of things that happened at Standing Rock where there were, violent clashes with the police and there was tear gas. I always expect for there to be bodily harm, property damage, fires, what have you, because that is exactly what these people are known for. Also, like the crooked lawyers that raised millions of dollars for a lawsuit against Trump at Standing Rock, these folks are probably trying to do the same for their lawsuit against the people building the wall. In this article about the lawsuit, it says, and you can find the link at everythinglubbock.com. It says that the lawsuit is in D.C. courts, and the money being raised for the lawsuit is actually filed by an organization we've talked about here, Earth Justice. Remember the articles that we read and kind of explained connections to Standing Rock from the wrong kind of green? Corey Morningstar is the author of those articles. You can go find all of that 6-part series on our website at kpppfm.com. Just type in the wrong kind of green or progressive frauds or fake progressives? Fake progressive agendas.
Yes. Fake
progressive agendas.
Yep.
Yes. It's been about a year and a half or two. No, it's been more than 2 years since we did that.
Yeah.
But it's a very educational. You will learn exactly what is going on behind these NGOs and these non-for-profit organizations that are funding these smaller groups that wreak havoc everywhere they go and cause damage everywhere they go. I'm going to share a video from this page because I want you to hear, in the words of Juan Mancias himself, what they're doing at this border wall resistance camp. In his own words. Here he is. The chief of the Carrizo, Comecrudo.
I'm not feeling good at all because we don't need the wall. The wall is not necessary because it's not even a border wall. They're selling it as a border wall, and it's a good salesmanship because that's what we have in Washington right now. It's a bunch of salesmen, and they're marketing it as a border wall. But this wall here is a mile and a quarter away from the border actually, and it's compromising a lot of area that's habitat for a lot of animals.
Tell me how you feel as leader.
Well, I feel like most of our leaders have felt in the past where they've broken treaties with the Native American Grave Protection and Repatriation Act. They've waived that so they can get to whatever they have to do. That means that our people are not going to be respected if they find any bones, or they're going to just send them to museums. We don't know where they're going to go. They don't have to tell us. They can do whatever they want, in other words. So the other one is the American Indian Religious Freedom Act. They've waived that also, which means that they can go through our peyote grounds, which is a sacred sites through here. And peyote is one of the things that identifies us. It's an identifier for our people because we were the original people that were on these lands. I think that affects us very deeply, and trying to erase who we are, that's ethnic cleansing. So there's a marker
about dead bodies and peyote. Did he say peyote?
Yeah, I think he did.
There was another one of these border activists, former felon and stuntman, Luis Monsiváis, self-proclaimed convicted human smuggler, working in conjunction with these folks that posted about peyote. And in fact, here's his post, and there's a grandfather sacred medicine peyote video that goes along with it. Listen for yourself what these yahoos are doing. They're transporting mescaline. They're looking for and transporting mescaline. This sounds like drug running to me.
Yeah, it does to me too.
Take a listen for yourselves.
Times to do this video, but I mentioned the word peyote in my title and transport, and they would not let it out. The only reason that I'm doing this video is to talk a little bit and to ask for some help. I want to talk about the sacred plant and the sacred medicine, what we call grandfather, as others know it as peyote. We have regions in this area on the Mexican side of the Rio Grande, fields of the sacred medicine that are tended to and have been tended to for generations and generations. We have individuals that their fathers and grandfathers have, and fathers' fathers have tended to this medicine in the fields in Mexico, in certain areas. I am and have been very close to these areas and within these areas. I met with some of the individuals, and I'm looking now for a peyote, or I'm looking for a licensed individual, licensed medicine person to be able to transport through the regions of Texas. To be able to transport to greenhouses and grow houses, to be able to continue this sacred medicine in its proper way, in the proper manner. Throughout Facebook and the internet, I have, and that's one of the biggest threats to this medicine, is improper harvesting. People are pulling it up, harvesting it wrong, and more than that, they're not regrowing the grandfather, not regrowing the plant, and it is in a dangerous state as of today. If anybody out there knows of a licensed individual, a license to transport, and it's very common It's very common to our indigenous brothers and sisters that are out there who can. I do know some folks in some regions, but I have not been able to get in touch with them. So I'm going to do a quick live feed about the sacred plant of peyote and the sacred medicine. If anybody has a license, and I am only looking for a license carrier to be able to carry the sacred medicine from place to place through checkpoints in the United States and into Texas. We have bushels that are ready to be harvested, and all I need right now at this point to be able to bring the sacred medicine further up into Texas, it is in Texas now,
Did he say bushels?
is a licensed individual.
He said bushels.
Yes, he did.
If that is you, please contact me. I'll help you get here. And the rest will be in your hands.
Okay, I think that.
And recap,
No.
I only want licensed medicine individuals
Peyotes.
who can legally transport this medicine and have extensive knowledge and has worked.
I can't with him anymore.
Peyote-
I have a
that
question.
peyote- yeah, I have many.
When did your drug stash become sacred items and sacred medicine? I've been hearing this nonsense going all the way back to Standing Rock.
Yeah, and actually before, it comes from in the 1970s, there was a Native American Religious Freedom Act, and it was a development of the Native American Church. And the peyote, or however he said it, was a plant that they used, and they fought for legislation that would allow them to be able to use this plant because they were getting arrested and their ceremonies were getting raided, and there was a spiritual significance for using this plant in the 1970s. Of course, what happened, all the hippies and all the yuppies, they started getting hold of peyote. You know, they would resin it down into mescaline, and it became a street drug. Mm-hmm. And, you know, so when I see this guy, you know, talking about it, it's like, you know, we need someone to bring bushels of it in across the border into the United States. It's like crazy.
It is more than that. It is disgusting, okay? When you start using code words for meth at Standing Rock on the radio and you have the security and medic people, and I'm using air quotes for all of these because they're all fakes.
Yeah.
Delivering drugs within the camp. We know these same individuals, including Lilith Sinclair and the people in the Border Support Network that were with her in Tijuana, were providing drugs to the migrants in the caravan and aided in the kidnapping of a minor child that was unaccompanied. This is this Lilith Sinclair. These are the people, along with this guy, that are supposed to be at these camps protecting the sacred. And what they are doing is illegal. What they are peddling is jargon to cover up their criminality. We're going to go to have a prayer walk. That means a protest.
Yep. We're going to go antagonize the police. Yes.
Right. We're going to go antagonize the police. We're going to go commit some crimes. Means we're going to go and fast near the wall. We've seen this all before.
Yeah.
Right. We've seen this all before. So Lilith had posted from about her hair on Twitter latest post, and oh, by the way, if you scroll down, she's wearing a Carrizo Comecrudo tribe shirt because this woman, which we just talked about, is involved in all these things, is supposed to represent Native people. And if you keep scrolling down even further, you'll see, oh, by the way, ask me about the resistance efforts of the Carrizo Comecrudo tribe of Texas and engaging at the border to protect their burial lands and burial sites. And, oh, yeah, by the way, you know, in passing, isn't my hair cute? Also, check out what they're doing at the border. This is what these people really represent. And here she is talking about her need for BDSM.
Wow.
her need to do something that makes her get tied up and hit for fun.
Wow.
Because this rushes endorphins into her body and she really enjoys it. I don't feel like I can read this to you because it is so obscene. But if you scroll down even further, she goes through steps that she does before she engages in what she herself calls potentially very dangerous play. Now, I ask you folks, if you scroll all the way down, you'll see what she actually did to her body. I want people to see the image at least. Okay. She is tied up and contorted. She talks about getting rope drunk.
Oh my God.
That's what she does to herself. She does this to herself for kicks.
Wow.
Now, I ask you, a person like this is supposed to represent indigenous people, and I kind of think it's doubtful that they could really call themselves that. That's your representative? Mm-hmm. This is the same woman that was at the border with vulnerable children and women and men. In this post that she talks about the asylum seekers, she again mentions a 16-year-old Honduran child. She had access. This woman, this prostitute, she calls herself a sex worker. She had access to children. All of these folks have had access. If you scroll down, you see them. And I felt that this was such a mockery because I wanted you to scroll down to the bottom of the words before you get to the pictures real quick. Right. She's talking about her memories of this time of her life. And she says, that time I rescued a cat. And oh, by the way, there's this 16-year-old kid that ran from the gangs and somehow made it into the United States. Oh, so sad. The 16-year-old kid got deported back to his country. I never heard about him again. I did get a home for that cat I found in Tijuana while I was there. And I'm still in touch with the cat. Don't know what happened to the kid. She literally says that.
Yes, she's saying it right there, yeah.
She says, I don't know. I never heard from this kid again. And scroll down even further and you'll see that there are pictures of her celebrating her year as an activist, of running through tear gas, carrying a stray cat, and taking selfies of herself with Jamie Skopowski of the Border Support Network and Jake Lee Harris, transgender activist, with what is it? Milk of Magnesia eyes.
Yeah.
Did you see did you folks remember the selfies everyone took? All of these self-proclaimed activists, con artivists like Desiree Kane, all of them taking pictures with the little white raccoon things around their eyes.
Exactly.
With Milk of Magnesia, which makes a mockery of true protests because these people are actors and bad ones at that. But not only that, they're criminals. And let me just remind you of what that looks like. Reynaldo's tweet calls them extremists, but there is an ongoing investigation into what these folks are doing. I want you to remember, if there's a reason that the police are investigating you, and it has to do with what I've been saying, which is human trafficking, human smuggling, and also probably weapons and drugs. Reynaldo's tweet says the extremists belong to a known anti-border wall group alleged to have direct action camps in McAllen, Texas. The document states the group appears to have been the Rio Bravo Action Camp, hosted by the Democratic Socialists of America's Rio Grande Valley chapter, Carrizo, Comecrudo tribe of Texas. And the tweet that was shared by Reynaldo is from Ken Kleppenstein, a reporter who shares an article in the Intercept, of course.
Oh, okay.
Jointly with TYT Investigates. Go check that out for yourself, folks. It is a read that you want to go through very, very thoroughly to see the newest propaganda in the Intercept from TYT, no less.
Yeah.
and the Intercept protecting, defending the clergy, all these different groups that are being investigated by our government and other governments, and also Interpol for their involvement in organized crime. Thank you for being with us here on this special super chat of A Mexican Crossing Lines with your hosts, Cindy Gomez-Schempp
And Duke Gomez-Schempp.
You're listening to 88.1 FM, KPPPLP Fargo Moorhead, where we are adding local color to your airwaves. Buenas noches.